Hey guys, it's Justin Parnell back again with another episode of Journey of Discovery, the free-to-play MTG Arena series. If you want to see more content like this, as well as Ali Aintrazi brews and the Thinktwice podcast, be sure to subscribe to this channel. And if you want to find the Thinktwice podcast on an audio platform, search Thinktwice MTG on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play Music, Stitcher, and Spotify. If you want to support the show, go to patreon.com/thinktwicemtg. All right. Today, we are going to be playing some Pandemonium Constructed, which I have built a deck for, but first, we have a few packs to open. So, we're still looking for some Overgrown Tombs, which we have none of. You will notice that... Hey, there's an Overgrown Tomb. You will notice that we have finally reached our first vault, which is... And we're going to leave that just because I want to know where I am. Okay, that was a Steam Vents, which I believe was our 4th Steam Vents. And that's our 5th Night of Autumn. So that will go to the vault. Alright, we got a whole 3% off that. Yeah, I'm just going to double check that we did, that's our 4th and final Steam Vents. It is. Okay. Well, that's not bad. However, now we're in the danger zone where we have 4 Steam Vents, 4 Watery Grave, 4 Sacred Foundry, 3 Temple Garden, and 0 Overgrown Tomb. Which is unfortunate, because today we are going to be playing some Pandemonium. And no, we're not going to be playing this Turbo Phoenix. But we're going to be playing a black-green deck that I have created for this event. Ignore the single Hungering Hydra here. But we have a core of a bunch of Plague Crafters, which is good because a lot of people play hexproof creatures, including us. A bunch of Ranging Raptors, which I did use 3 wild cards to get these Ranging Raptors. Or excuse me, I used 4 wild cards to get these Ranger Raptors, 3 wild cards to get the other Vine Mares, which we have, along with another big hexproof creature, Eternal Witness, because we only have permanents in our deck, a gigantic zombie. When you play this, it's usually going to be a 9, 9, 10, 10, 11, 11, and so on. 4 Eldritch Reborn, 2 Carnage Tyrant, which is what we have in our collection. The only non-permanent card in our deck, 1 Fine Finality, 1 Izani, and then a sweet little number, 2 Open the Graves. And just to make it even, because I had 1 slot, I put in 1 Hungering Hydra as something that can kind of combo with a few of our cards. Combos with Open the Graves, we can just play it for 0 and kind of get a 2-2. If we have it at the end of the game, it kind of prevents our opponents from playing creatures very easily, because anytime they play a creature, they're going to have to fight this. So it gets counters, and it's been fine. I just didn't have another card in a specific spot in the card that I needed to play and have another one of, so we did this. I don't want to use any other Mythic wild cards for Carnage Tyrant or Nullhide Ferox, because those would be very good. So for those of you that do not know, you're like, well, why do you have so many hexproof creatures? That is because the Pandemonium event says, whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, this emblem deals damage to that creature's power to target creature an opponent controls. So this can turn all of my creatures into Flametongue Kavus, and all of my opponent's creatures into Flametongue Kavus as well. Of course, I realize that might be a dated analogy. Flametongue Kavu is a 4/2 for 3 and a red that deals 4 damage to target creature when it enters the battlefield. So that's what we're going to be working with. However, if a creature has hexproof, they cannot be dealt damage. So Pandemonium it is. Pandemonium it will be. All right, we'll keep this one, and we're going to be looking for a land here. We'll put the Azani on the bottom. We're on the play, which does not help us. However, if we can get the Open the Graves out early, this thing starts to make some ridiculous value. Ranging Raptor is good, of course, because your opponent's creatures have to fight this. They're required by law to do so. Okay, right on time. We have 24 lands in our deck. More forest than swamps. Ooh, that is a sweet animation. I don't think I've seen the Crucible Worlds animation. That's a pretty great one, though. I would say our opponent is not playing creatures. Some people are like play creatureless decks. But they have a Johnny's Welcome, so I know that's not the case. Okay. Well, let's see if our opponent ramps us. I imagine they're going to some degree. We have a couple of reassembling skeleton in our deck, too. Yes, we would like to take an action and get this forest. Okay, we're going to slam this open the graves. And we'll attack. Opponent's not going to block. No need... blocking is not great, or holding up blockers has not been great in this format, just because... no, this isn't going to work out well for our opponent. So we're going to have our zombie deal 2 damage to that. And let's get our raptors back. Really just putting more creatures on the battlefield. But open the graves. We have 2 of these in this deck. This card has been super duper sweet. Found out about this card from Commander, obviously. This is an all-star in my Yehini deck when they printed it in M19. I was very, very excited. The spectacular thing about Plaguecrafter is if they only have 1 creature and you fight that creature, then they have to discard a card after that, which is super sweet. And if they have 2 creatures, you can... It's basically a 2-for-1. But this is, I think, one of the best cards in this format. And we're just going to hold it until we can get something from our opponent. We probably should have cracked this memorial. Okay. So our opponent's going to gain 3 life. They have 5 triggers. They have 5 damage worth. Okay, we're going to get another zombie back. And we're going to go ahead and fight here. All right, this is the... So this is my favorite type of play with this deck. Is we're going to play Plaguecrafter. We're going to fight this 2/2. And we're going to get our own Find Broker to start chaining our Find Brokers. Not worried about the Ferox. Okay, so we're going to Plaguecrafter. The triggers will stack as such that Pandemonium happens first. We're going to sack Plaguecrafter so we can get it back if needed. Which we won't. We won't need to. But it gives us a zombie when we do so. And we're going to play the Ferox and attack for 6. Only because it's 1 extra damage. I'd rather get the 6/6 in play. And that'll be it for our opponent. Alright, game 2. This is a spectacular hand. Great curve. We have black and green. We did it on 5 last time with relative ease. 7 cards is just icing. Icing on the already delicious cake. That is a good old solid grind 'em out black-green deck. Okay. So, unfortunately, we're always kind of going to have to fight the Rafting Hatchler, which is a good good card in this format, but we're just gonna do the Plague Crafter play next turn. Sweet. So we can actually get rid of this Ranging Raptors without killing it, without dealing it damage, so to speak. So we're gonna Plague Crafter. We're gonna deal the 3/3 Dino 3 damage, and then sack. We're both gonna sack our creatures. Opponent's very impressed. Okay, Clifftop Retreat. Not a dinosaur. That's good. All right, we're going to play our own Raging Raptors. We're going to give our opponent a land, which is unfortunate, but they will inevitably repay the favor. And if they want to play a game where we attack back and forth, like trading lands, then I will be totally fine with that because we have Fine Brokers that we can just loop in our deck, so we're going to be better off than just about every other deck with a billion D lands. Excellent. Okay, we'll get a swamp. And we're going to do the same play. I'd rather keep the Raptors. But we're going to do Plague Crafter, deal 3 to their Raptors. We're going to sacrifice our own Plague Crafter. Actually, we're going to respond and then sacrifice Reassembling Skeleton. I'd rather do that. So we could have done this backwards. We could have Reassembling Skeleton, dealt this 1, dealt that 3, so they got a 1 less land. But we'll ultimately be okay, because even if they play like a Carnage Tyrant, Polyraptor, eh? Okay. Well, we can... I think we need to do this. Unfortunately. And just kind of get... Oh, that doesn't work. That's not going to work at all. Because they're just going to deal 5. Yeah, that's dumb. Yeah, that was poor. That was poor. Okay. All right. Well, now we can. Now that there is another creature that we can fight, we can get the Polyraptor. Yep. And we're gonna fight. We're gonna get the Brontodon. They cannot sacrifice it, so this lets us get back a Plague Crafter. Fight here. Plague Crafter. Fight here. Sacrifice that stupid Polyraptor. And we're going to sacrifice old Reassembling Skeleton. And then, of course, we'll just hold this. We'll play this in response. Steals 5. Okay. We'll attack with both. They block the skeleton. Take 3. Deal 5 here, which is fine. They're going to kill the skeleton again. We'll play the raptors. And we'll probably memorial at end of turn. Alright. Onto the battlefield. Man, that one land that we... Oh no, they have an extra one for this. I was going to say that one land that we gave our opponent really has done a number on us. Alright, yeah. Yep. Have at it. Thanks. Our opponent's letting us know that's our go. I think they don't realize that maybe not everyone is as familiar with Gishrath as they might be. Alright, let's see what ridiculousness happens here. Okay, only 2 dinosaurs. A lot of dinosaur-like things. Okay, so we have 9 lands. Okay, so 7 is 9. So we can... Yeah, okay, so we just get the Fine Broker and then we can clean the board up. Eldritch Reborn is a good one too. Okay. And we're going to get a Plague Crafter, of course. We're going to fight here. Plague Crafter. Fight here. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. That doesn't matter. We're just gonna sacrifice this skeleton. Okay. What else do you have, opponent? Forerunner of the Empire. Oh, alrighty. I assume they get another one of these. Zakama, which they can definitely cast. Making it difficult. I'll say that. It's certainly making it difficult. Because they can destroy artifacts or enchantments with Zakama. Man. I thought for a moment we were going to be able to come back into this game. Okay. Well, we're going to play this Eldritch Reborn. We're going to play this Reassembly Skeleton. Oh, no. Come on. Come on, deck. Tap that mana all wrong. Our opponent gets a fantastic animation. We got a good one. You can destroy it now, you can destroy it later. Okay. Druid of the Cowl. Well, unfortunately, I don't think Druid of the Cowl is going to do it. But you never know. You would deal at 1. Show them we're not scared, you know? Okay, opponent gaining life. Okay, our opponent has decided to deal 3 to our creature. Let's go. Come on. All right. And we will be defeated by the dinosaurs. All right. 1-1, game 3. This is a slow but reasonable hand. We have a lot of power. There's not many aggro decks because it's not great to commit stuff to the board first because you lose the effect. Whoever plays the first creature loses the effect of being able to deal damage to another creature. We might be hitting dinosaurs back to back, which could be rough. Okay, good 3-drop. I really thought we were going to win that last one. I thought we were going to somehow pull it back out. We didn't draw any of our hexproof creatures, which was unfortunate. I should have certainly held that Eldritch Reborn. And it ended up mattering. But I should have held it regardless. Alright. We'll play our dinos. Drover. Okay. Oh, I like this. We will get a swamp. And we're going to go ahead and play this Vine Mare. So they must target our ranging raptors. Raptor hatchling? Okay. Sure thing. We will get a forest this time. I think the first thing we want to do is attack. See what our opponent does. Okay, so we're going to get another land here. Oh, we'll get another forest. And we're going to go ahead and play the Hydra for 4. Just so we can take out the dino that they have. We're going to hold this Eldritch Reborn for that Carnage Tyrant we know our opponent has in their hand. Charging Monstrosaur. Alright. We'll be able to take care of that with our Carnage Tyrant. Izani will be a good one, for sure. Okay, so if our opponent untaps, plays Carnage Tyrant, we can play Eldritch Reborn and then crash in. And that's no doubt what they're going to do. I can't imagine they're going to choose a different play other than slam Carnage Tyrant in a game where you need hexproof creatures on turn 6. So, all right, beat dinosaurs that time. All right, 2-1. This hand is a little slow. We have Fine Finality, which is not a draw that we want. But we have 4 lands and an Eldritch Reborn and a hexproof creature, so we're going to keep. We drew a Fine Broker. We haven't seen the Fine Broker loop in these games yet, but it will no doubt happen. And we could make our opponent discard and then play Fine Broker, get back Plaguecrafter next turn. But I would rather just have it without our opponent knowing that we have it. Okay, well there is now the play is much better if we would have done that. We'll play the Fine Broker to get something down. This is about the grindiest hand that we can come up with. So, regardless of what we draw, that was actually perfect tap land. We're going to play Fine Broker. We're going to get back Fine Broker. And we'll do that until we can play Carnage Tyrant. Then we'll play Carnage Tyrant and then keep doing the same thing. If we need to pepper an Eldritch Reborn in there to get their Carnage Tyrant, then we'll do just that. Okay, so our opponent knows that we just have the Fine Broker. And this is actually where Hungering Hydra is good as a one-of, just because it's something we can just play with all of our mana and make as big as possible. We don't want to cast any of the rest of the cards in our hand. Opponent's getting aggressive. Alright, we'll play Hydra for 4. Carnage Tyrant on 6. That's what I've come to expect. Finality, okay. I don't want to have Carnage Tyrant in play as our only creature. Lest we get Eldritch Reborn, which I would say is fairly likely. So we'll just loop Fine Brokers and make them do something else. Okay. So there's Carnage Tyrant. So now we can be the first to play an Eldritch Reborn, which is always good. Chaos Wand. Until they exile an instant or sorcery. On the bottom of random order. So they're just going to shuffle. So they're going to shuffle our deck, is what they're going to do. Because what they don't know is we don't have any instants or sorceries except for this Fine Finale, which is in our hand. So that's going to be super interesting. Let's get back Fine Broker. And then play Ranging Raptors. It's going to make our Eldritch Reborn quote-unquote bad, but we'll still get a Rocks Oracle. Okay, well, now we're going to get back this. Interesting choice from our opponent. Because now we can simply get back the Eldritch Reborn. Do this little dance. For as long as we please. I really can't wait for my opponent to activate this Chaos Wand. They have no idea how much chaos this is going to be. I'm going to hover over it maybe to encourage them to do so. Well, what is Vivian's Invocation? Look at the top 7. They get a creature? Okay. Oh, they give us a land. Alright. Well, I certainly don't mind that. Wait, what just happened? Oh, it double fights. Okay. I got it. I figured it out. Let's get back Fine Broker. And let's Plague Crafter. Sacrificing Fine Broker. So when Eldest Reborn triggers, we can get that back next turn. Come on. All right. We will discard our another Fine Broker. Okay. No, we'll just get back a Fine Broker. And then we'll get back Eldest Reborn. We're just going to keep playing this same game over and over again. Okay, yes. Please. Chaos. Ha 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 ha. That's true chaos. Our opponent did not expect that. Alright. Fine Broker. Get back Fine Broker. Vine Mare. Ah, that was perfect. That was great to see. I think our opponent needs to find finality. They can't. I don't think our opponent can kill themselves. They can only go to 1. If that's what they want to do, they can only go to 1. They can't activate it that last time. They're gonna try. You cannot activate it. You have to have the 2 life to pay. It just won't let you. You don't have the resource. All right. Good one. All right. We are on the draw, but our hand is about as good as you can ask. We have the appropriate mana. We have some 3s. We have a 4 that's very powerful. Of course, we have the magic word in hexproof. We've not seen an Izani play yet, but it's going to be, you know, this is for extreme circumstances only, for the end of the game. And we need just a sledgehammer off the top of our deck. The goal is to not get into those situations. Oh, these ranging raptors are going to be awfully good if our opponent is doing some sapling shenanigans. We'll find out. Do they have the 2/2 that puts a 1/1 into play? It's certainly going to make our Plague Crafters subpar. And if our opponent attacks, we block. Okay, so we just get 1 land, but that's okay. We'll get a forest. And then we'll stick a Vine Mare. And then go up from there. If we draw another land next turn, we can do Druid of the Celt into Ranging Raptors, which would be nice. Now we can... I really would like to do that play, so we can get both of our opponent's creatures. That would be ideal. And we do. We're quite fortunate that things just worked out like that. All right. We march on with our hexproof creature. We only have the ranging raptors, so we're not quite in a fine brokering situation yet. Nullhide Ferox. Probably getting our Druid of the Cowl. Ooh, our Ranging Raptors. Okay. We'll get more forests. If we draw a land, we can make this lose hexproof and simply just play Carnage Tyrant, which would be quite lovely. We don't. We draw Vine Mare. So in that case, we will play Plaguecrafter. Sacrificing the Druid of the Cowl. We'll play our own Vine Mare, our second Vine Mare, rather. And get on in there. We, of course, have Carnage Tyrant available. Opponent could have their own Carnage Tyrant. If they do, we need a land to find Broker back. The Plaguecrafter get their Carnage Tyrant, and then hit them for 10. Verdant Sun's Avatar. So they're going to gain 5 and kill our Plaguecrafter. Okay. Well, they're not dead then. Okay. Well, there's our land when we need to do the aforementioned play. However, Carnage Tyrant is just going to be better. Okay, now it's going to be difficult for our mono green opponent to win. And they do not. All right. The final game. Game 6. We're going to keep this one. We're on the draw. We have Druid of the Cowl into Ranger Raptors, 2 hexproof creatures, and open the graves in case we get grindy. Certainly a fan. Hopefully our opponent is playing creatures. Okay, they are. However, we really, if we play Druid of the Cowl, it will die to the 3/3. So we're not going to do that. This was one where we really needed to be on the play. Quite badly, in fact. Okay, so now we can safely play Druid of the Cowl if we don't draw a land, since... Okay, our opponent played another creature for us to take care of. This will be an easy one for us to lose if we don't draw any lands, though. Oh, yeah. This one will be quite easy for us to lose. We're going to pitch one of these open the graves. We're going to work our way down from the curve. This one is not looking good. It's not looking good at all. One of our 2 Golgari Guildgates. Of course, worse than every other land in our deck. Yep. I think I can safely say we're going to be packing this one in. Yeah, there's nothing we can do about the Rekindling Phoenixes. Alright. Well, that one did not last long. Does not take much. A couple of missed land drops. Plaguecrafter actually takes care of Rekindling Phoenix, but we have to be able to play our first one before our opponent can play 2 of these. All right, little disappointing. 4-1. This is the break-even point. 500 gold, which is what we put in, plus 2 cards. So, just a regular rare, not upgraded. Let's see. How about an overgrown tomb? Sanctum Secret. Well, at least it's a black card. All right. Thank you guys very much for coming along, Pandemonium. Hopefully you guys were able to play this event. This is actually a really good one. 500 gold for a 5-2 event that you break even at 4. We'll go back. You break even at 4 here is pretty good, because even you really only, if you get just totally toasted and just lose both, it still only costs you 400 gold, and you got at least a rare. Really, even in like the 2-win range, where it's costing you 200 gold for at least a rare, is pretty good. So whenever you see the events with this payout, I would recommend playing them as much as you possibly can. They're a lot of fun. The event ends in about half a day. I might try to play one more myself before, just because it's a great collection builder. So thank you guys very much for watching. We're going to keep this vault here so we can see how slowly it goes up. And I also believe that when the wild card changes happen, that as long as you have a vault that's not exactly on 100, it's going to push it up and give everyone a free open. That's kind of what they did. They did when they changed stuff in the closed beta, so that's what I anticipate here in the open beta. But we'll see. Again, thank you guys for watching very much. If you want to see more content like this, subscribe to this channel. Search Thinktwice MTG to listen to the podcast. SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play Music, Stitcher, and Spotify. And of course, go to patreon.com/ThinktwiceMTG to support this show. Thank you guys again. Catch you next time.